Hello everybody, can you hear me? Just starting the first live session now, and I'm not sure if the technique works as it's supposed to be. Let's see. I'm asking Matthias. It's early in the morning here, just got up and prepared this tea session just to start the day. Had a very short breakfast, and I'm kind of ready. But I will wait that someone comes online and then we start. Yeah, I look on the side because I have all the controls here on the computer here on the side. So who is online? Write a message in the chat so that we know. Hey, hi Fausto, nice to see you. How's it going in Turin? Is the quality okay, Fausto? I say this is the first time I'm trying all these, and I don't really thought having all the equipment for going live, but it seems it's possible. And yeah, what do you think about that? I'm from mobile, but it looks okay. All right. As you see, there is a tiny lag. I don't know exactly how much it is. It should be about 10 seconds. So when you write a message, you have to wait a little bit until I reply. But I mean, that's YouTube technique. And I see there are actually 4 viewers online. So as said, I am actually in on the East Coast in USA on my way back home, but at the end I had to stop here because of the virus. I was in South USA. Weather is awful in Turin, but we are doing okay. Well, as you see here, the weather is awesome. Yeah, the sun is shining and the sky is blue. But I said I was in Alabama for a business trip, and then on the way back, I was passing by DC to visit Caroline, and then I was requested to stay in quarantine from work, so I cannot go to the office on Monday. I have to work from home, and since here on the East Coast is quite spreading out the virus, I kind of decided to stay here. Caroline has also to work from home, so it kind of makes sense. And Karsten is also online. Hello, Gabriele. Hello, Karsten. Nice to see you there. Clifford, I'm isolated. You are all I've got. That's funny. Yeah, well, you know, I'm also alone right now because we are allowed to go out, as most of you, to the grocery. So Caroline just got out. She just got up. She just got out to buy some food and left. And yeah, and left me here. So I thought actually, you know, usually we do all this prepare video where I think about what I'm saying. And now that we are all stuck at home, we cannot meet our friends and simply go out and meet in some flat and have tea together. So I thought, what about trying to do some live session where I share a tea with you and you can drink along with me? And this is what we are trying now. I hope I say that the quality is okay. Give me some feedbacks if that's fine. What I've got here is Xingren Xiang, a Danzong Oolong. And I said I'm traveling, so I have to rely on the few tea that I brought with me and also on the tea that Caroline has at home. She one is for Caroline. You can see actually that I put the sticker on here. I don't know if you can read. It says Via Caroline. And so I thought, okay, let's go for it because I know that some of you have this at home and maybe we could drink that together. Next time I will try to play moving also the camera, or maybe using a second one, but for now it's already quite challenging like this as the first time. Hey, Giovanni also joined. Hi Giovanni, how's it going? I don't remember if I sent you, Giovanni, this sample. Xingren Xiang, maybe not actually. I think I sent you some other, maybe Huanzi Xiang, I don't remember actually. So this is how much I have in the guy one now. Should I put more? It is about 4 gram. I think it's fine, it's just me. So let's put this on the side. I have my kettle here at 90 degrees C, so I think I will get started. And if you have these at home, just go ahead along with me. So 90 degrees, I was saying. Yeah, and as I mean, you have already seen a video that I have posted from Alabama, and there will be another couple of coming that I'm post-processing right now, and I filmed in the past few days. And for the future, if things do not change quickly, and I don't think will be the case, I will be probably filming just from here. So Giacomo is doing, I said Giacomo, sorry. Giovanni is doing fine. Fausto, what's the capacity of your guy one? You know, I don't know precisely. My guess is 150, maybe, yeah, about 150, maybe a little bit less under the lid. You know that, I mean, you see that this guy one is quite large, but it is a very pronounced conical shape, so actually it doesn't contain a lot of liquid. I thought Xingren Xiang is also a good tea to start off because there is something I can tell you about it that I think I mentioned also recently in some video. I mean, of course, things that come up to my mind, I might have said in some video, I might say it now when I do a live session. I don't have the time to make sure everything I tell you, I haven't told you before. Let's see if I can bring this closer to the camera and you can have a look at the wet leaf. It's interesting because you can definitely see some greenish color, although actually it is a so-called traditional dance song, Shuxian. And let me bring this too close to the camera. Let's see if it can focus and you can have a look at the leaves. I keep it there for a little while. Oh, Guy Drinks Tea is also there. Nice. All right. So Xingren Xiang is, how can I say, to me, one of the most difficult dance song. In which sense? In the sense that he's famous. Xingren Xiang is probably the second most famous dance song after Milan Xiang. It is processed in a similar way as Milan Xiang. It has a completely different taste. While Milan Xiang is so floral and so present with this sweetened honey aroma, Xingren Xiang is a little bit less apparent, let's say. It has more of a nutty taste with a more pronounced sourness, but a very, very, very specific taste that you can find only in Xingren Xiang. So now, if you have this taste associated already in your head, as soon as you drink a Xingren Xiang, you would say, okay, that's Xingren Xiang. It cannot be any other tea. The problem is that differently than Milan Xiang, there are not so many good trees around there. Or better, for Milan Xiang, even though if maybe the bushes are not super high quality, anyway, or the way it is processed not perfect, you still can have that particular taste because Milan Xiang is so intense and so easy to recognize. On the other side, for Xingren Xiang, it is tricky to achieve that particular taste. So what happens is that most Xingren Xiang you have on the market don't have the taste that is characteristic of Xingren Xiang, and consequently, you are not really able to learn how Xingren Xiang tastes, right? And I had some problem with that as well myself that I will tell you soon. Let me read what you guys are writing here. Turns out I ran out of Xingren Xiang, so I'm going to have some of the raw gooey you sent me along with it. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, Rogui, what is good is also not a floral oolong. It's definitely the Rogui that Guy Drinks Tea has written about is actually a tea. Let me cover this. I don't want to cool it down. It's actually a tea that is more roasted than this one, so it has more this more intense spicy taste. But I think it's a good pick. And Karsten is writing, Guy drinks tea when Guy drinks. Yeah. Oh, guys, it's start to be hard to follow. Guy drinks tea when I'm going to post new videos. Okay. I had that a few weeks ago. You know, things people are busy. I mean, the same for me. It was in the past weeks was really hard to find time to filming. I had like to stay in the office 12 hours a day and even more. But I mean, here we are, right? And then if I go back, there was Fausto asking, so about 4 gram per 150 milliliters. I put 4 gram. That is a little bit more of the dry gram that I usually suggest to use for 100 milliliters, but I might not fill the guaiwan completely. I see that sometimes there is the tendency, no matter which container you have, Yixing, guaiwan, always to fill it up, but who tell that it must be done that way, right? And in fact, at least for Yixing teapot, it's very common in China to buy a little bit larger teapots and then simply don't fill them all, or fill them all only when you have a lot of people around. Guys, I'm speaking all the time. I don't have the time to drink here. 89 degrees water. I mean, just for those that are into numbers here. You will see some noises around. I mean, now there is, I don't know what, the air conditioning starting. Sometimes there is the fridge that just throw ice cubes down. So, you know, it's life. So it's not all perfect. Da, da, da. Ah, Jan is also there. Xingren Xiang is awesome tea. I think as well, yeah. So I wanted to tell you a story. I will leave it a little bit longer. A story about Xingren Xiang. So there was some time ago, I was traveling in China, and I was actually with Balzac and Dora, who run Tevolution, which is a very, very nice tea shop in Budapest, and they put so much effort in it. If you go to Hungary and visit Budapest, don't forget to pass by Tevolution and visit them. Anyway, I was traveling with her in South China. We were in, which is the name again? Well, near Chaozhou in Guangdong, and we visited Fenghuan together, so where the Phoenix tea are made. We visited different farmers. Some were my contacts, some were their contacts. I don't remember this one. And anyway, this was a relatively larger factory, and in fact, it was interesting that there were some pictures hanging around, and we recognized also one of the tea hunters from I think they are called Camellia, a famous tea house in Montreal. Some of you might know Camellia. Camellia sinensis is the name, not because you have been necessarily in Montreal, in Canada, but they have released a very well done book about tea. Maybe I will do a review one day also of that one. It is back in Switzerland. I didn't bring it with me in the US. And as you see, I already started forgetting my tea here. And there was a picture of them on the wall. So you know, sometime the world is not that large, and those that go there and search the tea themselves are even less. And so sometimes you cross some of these people. Oh, I have been to Tevolution, PA dealer. Great, yeah. How did you like that? I have to say I haven't yet been and visited Tevolution in Budapest, because when I met first Dora and Balzac, actually they were thinking about starting all that. So it was still just a plan. They just came to China, and it was the first trip where they bought tea. So since I had a little bit more experience than them, I think they wrote simply me, and we managed to meet, and we spent a little bit of time with my farmers, a little bit of time with their contacts. And here you go. So here, Xingren Xiang is easy to recognize. It is also a pelzig in German. How to say that in English again? Tannic, a kind of tannic feeling, like some wine on the top of the palate. That is very specific of this one, and that reminds me actually of the skin, the brown skin of almond. Yeah, you know when you have almond that are not white but they're still with the skin, and you put them in your mouth, you have this kind of yeah, pelziges Gefühl, tannic feeling on the mouth, in the mouth. And now I mean I jump forth and back from different topic here, but I was traveling down there with Balzac and Dora, and they basically proposed us several different danson to taste. Milan was quite good, and I ended up buying it. It is already sold out, so it means that you guys appreciated that, because we bought also very large quantities. And actually, we will have to buy Milan again soon. It's out of stock. And then we bought also a Xingren Xiang at that time. That I bought it because the price was actually good, and at that time I thought the taste was okay. Yeah, so I shipped it back home to Switzerland, and then when I tasted it in Switzerland, I was a bit disappointed. Since I have another farmer that I know better, and her quality is definitely never disappointing, I contacted her. I asked her to send me some Xingren Xiang. The price was definitely higher, but at the same time was so much better, then I thought I will put only this one on stock. And for a couple of years, the other Xingren Xiang has still been staying in our warehouse in Berlin. So I thought, what do we do with that? The fact that that's in Berlin is not used. Actually, I never thought about really using it, because yeah, just I didn't like it very much. But now, actually, I came up recently with an idea of proposing that, just for a very affordable price, so that you have the opportunity of tasting two Xingren one along each other, and you can really tell, okay, that one is the Xingren that has the Xingren taste, and if it tastes like the other one, is actually not a proper Xingren, but the plant, the cultivar, is the same, and they are even genetically identical to each other, because they are all Steckling. Don't remember now, missing English word. Yeah, I mean, how you say the cuttings, when you take a branch from a tree and then you plant it and you make another plant, so they are all let's say daughter and sons from the same mother plant, so they are, except for natural mutation, they are actually the same plant. I do a little break here. I probably don't have to speak as much as I usually do in the other videos since it's live. Let's see, what do you have? Cutting, yeah. Oh, thank you, thank you. Or slips, that's a new word. Slips, I didn't know you can say slips as well. It's a big mix of languages here. I actually very seldom end up speaking my own language. And in fact, Fausto and Giovanni, if you are still online, my mother and my father are the only person to which I speak Italian this month. Yeah, except of course for writing in a chat. So I'm not saying that I forget my language, but sometimes I just mess up with the words. I speak much more German actually, because I speak German with Caroline. I speak German at work, not with my colleagues here, but when I have teleconferences with the colleagues in Switzerland, we always speak German with each other. So German I kind of speak a little bit more often, and English, of course, I speak it often, but this is I speak better Italian and German actually, and so when I speak English and I'm not prepared, sometimes and I cannot remember a word, it might be that an Italian word or a German word pop up in my mind first. I don't know if you have that feeling. We must do some more practice then. Fausto, yes, we have to do. Yeah, let's do some Italian lessons of the Italian lesson. So I will steep it a bit at higher temperature. Usually I go for 90 degrees for Xingren Xiang, but I'm not really afraid of bitterness and even not of this tannic taste, and I want a little bit of strength coming out. Yeah, that happens to me as well from time to time. So, guy drinks tea. Where are you from? You are German, right? Or I'm confusing here. Weirdly enough, it's been happening with English words when speaking German tough. Yeah, you see, you're German, right? And if I remember right, you are the one that have this nice Instagram channel with a lot of picture brewing tea in the nature. I might be wrong. Sigi. Yeah. Sigi. Hi. Now I know who you are. Yeah. I messed it up actually. It's hard, right? Because sometimes I know your name, but then your nickname is a different one, and so I have hard time following. And of course, you are many, I'm one, and this it's always hard. So, 100 degrees, a bit hot, but whatever. So, Sigi, are you actually drinking Xingren Xiang with me right now? I just had the banana this morning actually because I just didn't want to start drinking tea without having anything on my stomach. Hopefully, Caroline will bring some breakfast back home. Unfortunately not. It looks like I already finished my Xingren Xiang sample. Ah, it was just a sample, yeah. I see. Yeah, you told it before, right? Sorry. You have Rogui. Mm. It's really a pity that I cannot go out actually. Now it is the cherry blossom season in Washington DC should start soon, and when I walk from the metro station home, you could really see already quite some trees around sprouting flowers. And it's very warm indeed. I mean, 2 days ago in the evening it was 24 degrees centigrade, while in Denver last weekend we had 20 centimeters of snow. So you see, we are actually, it's amazing because we are actually at the same latitude, Denver and DC, but this is on the coast. Denver is at an altitude, and you can have even more than 20 degrees difference. In one place, it feels like early summer when you have 25 degrees in the evening, and in the other place, it was snowing. That's USA. They have really incredible weather. All right, let's skip this. And you see from the color also that is relatively high oxidation Dansong. It has this dull brown tone to it. Yeah. I'm in Washington right now. Some of my online tea friends live around the area. Yeah, but I cannot meet them, right? Because I cannot go out. In Washington, actually, it is allowed to go out. Um, they just everyone is doing home office, and they strongly suggest to stay home. But if you can go out, you can go out. It's just you don't want to infect other people and on the street in case you have got it. So it's better to stay home and to limit when you go to the grocery. That's the whole point. And actually, different than other American cities, the roads here are not that large, in particular the pedestrian road. So you when you walk around, you pass by very close to people here. So I don't know if you have seen that since Sigi mentioned Rogui. Recently, we put back Da Hong Pao on stock. And what happened is that I was in Berlin a couple of weeks ago for doing the inventory. We should do that every year. We didn't do it every year. And what happens is that we have counted and checked all the teaware and all the tea they were on stock, weight, everything, and we realized that we still have some down pow that we thought it was sold out. So it is a down pow made by the same family that did this Xingren Xiang, because the wife actually is original from Huishan, and the man is original from Fenghuan, from Chaozhou. So it's quite amazing, but you have within the same family half of the family that is traditionally producing dancong, and the other half of the family that is traditionally producing yancha. Let me check a couple of things here. Um, I see that Matthias seems to have some problems. I mean, everyone is connected apparently, and Matthias is not. He was meant actually to be connected, and we are trying, still working on that. I know that Sigi, you gave us some suggestions to have the possibility to stream at the same time from two different locations, because Matthias is really stuck at home in Zurich. He cannot go out at all. Not only home office, is allowed to go out only to the grocery, as far as I understood. And it would be nice actually to do some tea session together. Then I don't have to speak all the time. I can also take some time for my tea. I don't know if Gabriele is online. I mean, not myself. The other Gabriele from München wanted also to join, and she has also Xingren Xiang at home. So whatever, right? Yes, if you want to do this more frequently, I can walk you through the whole setup process sometime. Yeah, I'm actually, we are speaking about with Sigi about how to stream from two different locations. And Sigi, I tried that out already yesterday, and it's clear, I understood that how it works. I just have a little bit of concern about the quality. And also, I wanted to find a way to involve you guys a little bit more, not only in the chat, but would be nice, for example, if some of you could also share the audio, or could also even share the video maybe. Usually these live sessions are not so crowded because I mean, you have to be there on the spot at that precise time. But so it's a little bit easier to interact with each other. Like now we are just 9-10 person with me, so not such a large group, and would be in theory possible. The problem that there is that in YouTube there is always a little bit of lag, so you have always at least this 10-second of difference. It means that if I turn on your audio, you might speak at the wrong, you would certainly speak at the wrong time, for example. So it's a little bit difficult to synchronize, but you know, it's just the start. I'm actually very happy that it is working, and if there are still 8-9 people online, it means that you can understand me well. And what about actually the video quality? I'm curious. Is it, I think is lower than the usual video that we post, right? Maybe you see myself a little bit blur. Let me know. Which is not bad at all, because I mean, as you see, I'm not shaving, but it's not really by choice. Actually, I forgot my shaver in Denver, and I was last time in Denver at the end of February. Then I flew to Berlin actually I flew to Switzerland on a business trip. Then over the weekend, I was in Berlin for the inventory, and then I flew back directly to Alabama. So I could buy a shaver on the way, but honestly, I don't want just to, you know, waste for what, and I don't care much if I have some beard. So it looks a little bit wild, but is yeah, because I forgot the shaver at home, and because of the quarantine, I don't fly back home. So it looks fine on my end. All right. So, oh, Gabriele, cool, you're here. Yes, I'm here. Drinking Xingren Xiang, also my brother in Berlin. Cool. Also my brother in Berlin. Ah, so you mean your brother in Berlin is drinking Xingren Xiang with us, Gabriele? This is what you mean? That would be really fun. I didn't know that you have a brother in Berlin, actually. The quality of the video is not very well. Sometimes the picture is stopping for a short time. Yeah. We have also to say that I'm not working with connection from home. I'm actually using the connection of the phone to stream. And simply because Caroline doesn't have internet at home, we are also relying on the phone. Now it's early in the morning. It is a Sunday, but it's early in the morning in DC, so I think most of the people are still in bed. So the network should be relatively free. It will improve when I go back to Denver, but at that time maybe there is no more need to do live session together, right? In Denver, actually, my landlord that lives with me, he's an IT guy, an IT engineer, so the connection and all this type of technical aspect related to computer works perfectly in Denver. And if we have a problem, he will fix it. I'm an engineer, but not that type of engineer. I don't know much about computers. Let's see. Let me read a little bit what you're writing here. Oh, you wrote a lot actually. Yes, one of them are frequent. Okay, yes, Jan. It looks nice. I like traditional processed danson because they are stronger in taste, more fruity, but still nice floral as well. Yeah, you have this combination of fruity and floral that sometimes makes no sense because if you think sometimes it's either fruity or it's floral, but it's not true. It can be both. I definitely agree with that. I also like traditional danson, although my favorite one, and there is really no discussion about who is first, who is second. For me, is really my favorite one is Huangjisian. That's definitely the one that I like the most. It also depends, on the batch you get. We have a very very good source for Huangjisian. That family has a huge tree. It is, I think they say about 500 years old, and you can tell because it's one of the feast of one of the largest in Udon, and it's just about 100 meters from the peak. That tea is incredibly expensive. You cannot really afford. They make tons of money out of the tree, and they harvest, I think, less than uh, 20 gin, so less than 10 kilo a year, because half of the tree has a illness, so it doesn't really produce a lot of leaves. So they take only leaf from the other half, but they have a lot of cuttings dying out of these tree, and we basically have our Wanjishan that are from the first generation, actually from this mother tree. Video quality is okay for Jan. I'm watching it on my phone. Okay, that's good. Looks absolutely fine here too, says Karsten. Not as good as normal, but very acceptable. Okay, I'm happy about that. And Gabriele says that the brother is living in Berlin, but he's drinking another oolong, Oriental Beauty. Oriental Beauty, another super aromatic tea that if I have to associate with the Danzong, I would rather say Milan Xiang, because both have this sweet honey to it. In the case of Milan Xiang, just because the cultivar is like that, and in the case of Oriental Beauty, because of the, another word, how to say cicaden in grasshopper, I think, because of this grasshopper that punch the leaves, and by doing so give the leaves actually this particular aroma of Oriental Beauty, Dongfang Meiren in Chinese, that is so honey-like. Fausto, YouTube is playing tricks with video quality anyways. It's trying to reduce the impact of the air traffic on the increased worldwide internet traffic. Yeah, yeah, it's true. I mean, the same that Netflix does. So might be also because of that. I guess we have to live with that. I think CCADs, yeah. I think then since most of you are in Europe, is anyone from the US right now online? I mean, I said it's early in the morning in DC, which means that for the whole US is actually even earlier. Like in Denver now, it is, what time is it now here? It is 6:30 in the morning, so I don't think there is anyone from the US actually online. And this means that actually I could choose maybe time during the year where during the day where there is less traffic in the US, so that actually my connection is a bit better in upstreaming. I have to check that. Anyway, during the week I will be stuck in my office room, that is one here next door. So we will have that Caroline actually works from this table, I works in that room, so that we are separated and we can have our call independent from each other. But when I finish work here, it will be around, let's say 5, 6 p.m. That's too late for you. So I will have to do that probably in the early morning before start working, which is even a better time actually for streaming, because early in the morning people are still to start working. They are not yet really active. They're just having breakfast, and I'm on the East Coast, so I think would be a good choice actually streaming for you early in the morning, which would be in Europe would be around noon. And for those that are in the US, maybe you want some company during breakfast. Oh, we have Yekur313. Sorry, I don't know your name. At least I cannot recognize it like this. I am on now too. Your link did not work, but when this is Matthias then. Matthias, which name do you have there? Yekur1313. Your link did not work, but when accessing over the channel directly, I was able to get in. Very good. So Matthias is also in the loop now. So I was thinking I might doing the maybe one or two live session a week. I don't know. I will see how much time I have. If you guys enjoy it, and maybe I publish in advance the tea that I'm going to drink. And of course, I'm not pretending that you have all the teas that I have here. Actually, we have here also tea from other tea companies. I tried since I'm in the US. I tried quite a lot of different shops in the US to see which is the quality, and we might try one of those. I'm not so sure if I should then in that case tell you what I'm drinking, because I don't like to speak bad about a competitor. And when I drink a tea in advance, I don't know how I like it. Yeah, so if I pick one that I like, that I already tried it, I will also share where it comes from. If it is the first time that I'm drinking it and I don't know if I will like it or not, I might not tell you which is the source, maybe only at the end if I liked it. And but I can definitely reveal in advance to you which is the tea that I'm going to drink, so that you can get ready, you can find a similar tea and you can drink it along with me. It's a kind of virtual tea sharing and together drinking, so it's not exactly the same. But I have to say, for me, although I'm speaking here in front of the camera alone, it makes me feeling I'm not alone, because I see your comments and I see some interaction. It's definitely for me much more satisfying, if you want, than when I make videos and I have just to imagine that in the future someone will see them. Now I know that you there are actually watching me, and in a way I'm watching you through your message. And I see that you know also each other. There is now Gabriele that is greeting Matthias, and both Gabriele and Matthias were on the tea weekend, and also Sigi were on the tea weekend that we did in South Germany on the Alps. And it's nice, to re-meet in a way. Yeah, Gabriele was also supposed to join our tea journey, our tea tour to China this year, that we had to cancel because of the virus. Very pity, actually. I really wanted, I really looked forward to go to China. We had a really nice group of customers and friends that were joining, but we have to postpone to the next years, the next year. Let's see what Sig is writing here. Oh, by the way, I had an idea when I got up today. With the T subscription service you are starting, maybe it might be interesting to do a virtual group session like this one for each month. Oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah, this is something we can do. The only problem I have with that is that I wanted to give you as much as I could of those teas. So for those teas where Matthias and I have very, very little quantity, we left quite a lot in Berlin. Not a lot, but quite a large a portion of what we had, we left in Berlin. And then I took with me just one or two samples to the US, because I want basically to use that when I will do the video at the end of the month, anticipating which is the next month's tea. So for that reason, I don't know if I will have enough tea of doing also a live session, but for some of those that are actually my teas, I do have. And yeah, I will do that. I will do that. We are doing virtual tea session a lot. I can imagine. I mean, Fausto and Giovanni belongs to the same tea group in Turin, along with Andrea, and which is Fausto, the name of the other girl that is actually the one that has also a very nice Instagram YouTube channel. I don't remember her name right now, but you can help me. And yes, so they meet themselves together in Turin, and actually also I think Giovanni, I don't know if the other participate as well, run also an Airbnb experience in which you can, when you're visiting Turin, you can actually book with them and you can meet them and drink tea together. I have in a video that comes out soon, I will post some links about that, so that in the case after all these yeah this virus problem, we go back to normal life and you are going to visit the northern of Italy and you go to Turin. It's certainly an interesting city. And I've been there a few times. For the first time when I was 12, actually, on a school trip. So we have here Chiara, yeah, exactly, Chiara, which was her Instagram name. But monthly tea session, great anyway. Yeah, we do that. Let me read a little bit what they're writing here. At Degusta Tea. Degusta, degustare in Italian means tasting, so degustati is a kind of combination of Italian and English to say that Chiara is tasting tea for you. So check that out. It's very nice Instagram channel. I think, yeah, I'm following that as well. Mm, Gabriele, very well. Okay, here Gabriele is speaking with Matthias, I think. Give me a sec to read what you're writing here. So Sigi also belongs to another tea group in München, organized by Jens, and apparently they are also doing virtual tea sessions. So it seems it's not only our idea; everyone around the world. And actually, uh, have you heard that there is this tendency of doing dining together virtual? So it's starting being quite widespread around, and we have one on Monday with a colleague of Caroline. We will meet up, I don't know if for lunch or dinner, and we will have a virtual dining together. It also means my daily tea consumption has probably doubled. That's a good point. Not in my case, because I have my tea set also at work. Well, not when I'm traveling. So, as I mentioned when I was in Alabama, when I'm traveling, it's very hard to get and drink tea. But when I'm back home, I have exactly this water kettle. I have one in the office and one at home. And sometimes I even do tea session during meetings, and I bring tea sessions to my colleagues. But they are mostly into coffee. It also means my Xingren Xiang is getting more minty, very minty now. That's interesting, minty. That's so it has a freshness to it, despite the bitterness. This is what actually Gabriel is right. That the Xingren Xiang is getting minty. Which steepings are you? I'm here at the second, and I'm steeping it quite strongly. So for me, the bitterness is a bit overwhelming, but I like that. Hmm. So this year, our sourcing tea trip will be hard to organize. I'm not going to go to China, at least not now, maybe later on in the year. Luckily enough, we have a lot of tea that we have sourced in the past year and that we have kept for later appearance on the website. Some of them because it is the case to do so. For example, for some Ui Yancha, you don't want to bring them out on the market where the roasting is still so dominant. You usually wait some years before you bring them out. So we will have still a lot of new teas and new teaware in the coming month, even if I'm not going to China this spring. But there is one thing that I will miss, and it is the green tea harvest. So for that, we are activating some of our farmers and some of our taster. Actually, I call them taster. They are just friends running other tea shops in China. And what we do, we ask our farmers to send samples to them. They will test those green tea for us, independent of the farmer. Then we'll make the selection for us, and then they will send the tea over. So we should have also some fresh green tea coming over in 1 or 2 months. You know, it takes some time to organize all the shipment and so, especially with this lockdown. But we should be able to do so. Let's see. Ta, 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 ta. I am at the 16th infusion. Yeah, you drink faster than I, Gabriele. I am here at the third one. But that's also because I am speaking all the time. Which is interesting. I mean, everyone knows, right, that Italian are talkative, and I think I'm no exception. I speak a lot. But when you are alone in front of the camera, is a different story. I have to say, when it is live streaming, I thought I might have a lot of time when I don't know what to say. It doesn't seem the case, and probably you have enough of even listening my voice. But when you do a video on a specific topic and you prepare that topic, you want to be concise and to put a lot of comment in short time, because otherwise people get bored. It's not so good for the channel actually, because YouTube give more, I say, um, uh, put higher in the ranking those channels that have videos that people watch for a very long time. So actually you have to do long videos if you want to have good ranking in YouTube. But it's difficult to find. It's difficult to find the balance, because at the same time you want to have short video because people like short videos. And I tell you, doing a 10 minutes video and pack there a lot of content is very hard. Um, and certainly also the language is a difficulty. So despite I've been so active in the past 6 months or so, it's still quite challenging to do every single video actually. Maybe it looks natural in front of the camera, but I can tell you it's hard. And it's much easier when I do session with friends, because then I'm not the only one speaking and I can take breaks. And for you, all the scene is more dynamic because I interacted with someone. But when I am having a monologue, then it is a different story. Caroline is just entering the room, not the room, the flat. I will have also a little bit of tea for her. So what's going on? I think you're doing well, Jan. Thank you, Jan. I'm doing my best, but I'm not a professional, and yeah. Honestly, being doing a great job on the video. Well, thank you guys. I mean, I said I'm learn by doing, right? When I started off, I did a few videos like 3-4 years ago with a very bad camera, and just to try it out, and I didn't like that, and so I stopped. Also because I didn't have time. And now that so very good, Caroline is washing her hands, and then Caroline, you can come over and I can give you some tea. We have 8 people online. Most of them are people that you know or you have heard about. There is Matthias as well. Oh, Sockbird. If you make tea videos, the only way to get YouTube to notice is to be Mayleaf. Yeah, well, I mean, Mayleaf has done a great job, and actually every other YouTube channel, including Nanoshan, have to be thankful to Mayleaf and Don, because they. So come in. Here's Caroline.
Hello. Oops, I'm not in the picture, I think.
No, the picture is delayed.
Okay. Yeah.
You see the chair. You should come soon. Yeah, we see actually what we're streaming, but there is a 10 seconds lag. Here you go. And we're drinking Xingren Xiang. So I point the microphone a little bit towards Caroline because my voice is louder, and so this way.
I still need to put things in the fridge.
Okay, so I'll give you just a cup and then. Yeah, how many people there are around?
So the streets are pretty empty actually. So you just see people walking their dogs and going to the supermarket. It's obvious because the people going to the supermarket bring their own bags, and then you have the people with their dogs, and that's it.
And there are people greeting you.
Jogging, but yeah.
Yeah, actually, when I came here from the metro, it seems like that every second guy was a sportman and a sportwoman, right? They take the time now and they are all jogging around. So there is Sigi greeting you. Sigi is one of the guys that was at the tea weekend that we did at Benjamin's place.
I don't know him. Yeah.
You don't know him, you have just seen in some picture. And Fausto, you don't know him as well. He's one of the guys that have this, I told you about this Airbnb thing experience in Turin.
Yeah.
And I had a video chat with Fausto, Giovanni and Andrea a few days ago when I was in Alabama. And because they wanted to try some tea from Nanoshan, they asked if they could try some samples. And so we discussed about that. So what I was saying about Mayleaf, right? So Don, to me, has done really a great job. Like, he started his channel he started like 4 years ago or so, but very actively maybe 2-3 years ago. So he was one of the first really putting a lot of effort in spreading the word of Gonfu tea, of Gonfu cha. And he's a professional, right? He's not like me. He has a background in filming and production because I think he has studied that, and is very good in front of the camera, very good at communicating. Celine as well. Also, Caroline is doing very well when she's joining me.
No, not as good as them, I think.
Not as good as Dion and Celine for sure. And so he managed actually to spread the word of Gonfuti to people that didn't even know what is Gonfuti. And that's very important. They are very close, I think, to 60,000 subscribers, which is massive. Like the second largest channel that deal with tea at that level, I think, is TDB, which will make it also the first channel that is not doing it professionally because they don't run a tea shop like us. And it has maybe 1/10 of that subscriber. So I mean, some people might agree with his approach, some other might not. The same for with me, right? You might agree with what I'm saying, you might not agree with what I'm saying, but as a matter of fact, I believe that Mayleaf have done a great job and is still doing a great job. He does a little bit less video now, and I understand that. I mean, also with the child, it's certainly taking time. And you see us in front of the camera, but there is a lot of business, a lot of stuff done, in the back shop and processing all the orders, all the bureaucracy and so on. So it's definitely not easy to find the time for doing for spreading the word in this way. It's something that we wanted to do because when we closed the tea house last year, something was missing. Like before, I was able to go to the tea house, having seminar, sharing in real life, and this is actually how everything started back like in 2012 or so. I will tell you more in a future video, like really sharing live with people. And then we found ourselves also with Matthias then having just an online shop and not being able to have this personal contact with the customer. And so we thought how to do that. And of course, that we write those personal letters, and it's nice when you actually write back to us. And then we decided, let's do a YouTube channel. At least, even if it's almost only in one direction, we can communicate a little bit to you using more than simply a static website. Yeah, that was the whole reason for that.
I'm just gonna head out.
Yeah, you go to the fridge. Very good. So I'm go back central here. Microphone. Let's see what you're writing. Yeah, I have to admit, even I don't really watch his video anymore these days. A lot of them were really useful when I started getting into the hobby. Yes, and of course, what I also find super fun is actually that we got already a few people pointing out that Nanoshan is copying from Mayleaf because they say that we have a very similar logo and similar color and similar font. But as a matter of fact, actually, the new design of Mayleaf was done just a couple of years ago, while Michaela did our design back in 2014. So, and I mean, I don't believe that Mayleaf copied from Nanoshan, right? So it just happened. And our logo is the guy one with the writing underneath, Nanoshan. And if you do Gonfuti, if your main topic is Gonfuti, is quite straightforward to come up with a guy one and writing your name underneath, right? So that's I think quite natural. When we started thinking about the logo, Michaela started actually drawing. She used a Chinese brush, started drawing some Ishin because also Ishin teapot would be a nice symbol. But I thought that Gaiwan is more specific because if you see a pot, it could be a pot of everything. Caroline is getting loud here. But if it is a guy one, that it's Gonfuti, and you cannot miss that. And so we decided to go for Gonfuti. You see, I keep on forgetting my tea here. Gabriele, I won't test that mint, I think, because I'm just sleeping too long. I think this, let me see what you guys are writing. Jan, I think that is good that your channel is different from the Mayleaf because then it brings something new, different points of view and so on. I got to leave for a few minutes. I will be back soon, okay? Siggy, see you soon. Yeah, Matthias likes the guy when a symbol. A teapot could always have a touch of English tea time. That's right. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want to to make people thinking we are doing here English breakfast. And of course, I'm sure that I also don't have any more the time to watch my live very often. I do sometimes for specific video that when I see a topic, okay, let's see what, especially when he does some traveling, because he has the equipment also for doing nice video when he's traveling. I don't have that yet, and that's very interesting. There is this video that he made in Tongmuguan, where he says it is the origin of black tea, and there it's really well done. You have this view with the drone, and it's beautiful, and I really enjoyed those videos. On the other side, of course, we have similar topic, right? We are sharing the word of Gonfucha in the world. You have to cover certain basics that that are necessary, right? I mean, I haven't done a video yet about the 6 types of tea, or 7. I'm still thinking about that. But when you speak, for example, how many grams to use for Gonfucha, or how to use a Gai one, I mean, are things that sooner or later a chapter, a channel dealing with Gonfucha will speak about, right? But I actually liked doing a review of a book, like the last video. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I have to say, it's quite some effort doing a video about a book, because you have to read the book first. Now, I have some books that I read in the past and I've just, to refresh, and that would be easier. But this one I had to read it truly, because I just looked at that when I was 10 years ago or so. No, yeah, about 10 years ago at Lengaste in Bern. They had a copy and I watched it there. So I remember that I saw that. And actually, Giovanni pointed out that there is a follow-up book of which I've heard about, that I've never seen. And he sent me a link from a library in UK selling Chinese, like a Chinese bookstore in UK. And I have to find the time and buy it, because it seems they have even more specific topics about pu'er. They go a little bit more into detail. All right. So, who is actually of you stuck at home? Like, I know the situation in Italy because my family is in Italy. I know that everyone is really at home, and you can go out only for, you are not allowed to go out unless you have to go for an emergency, or to the pharmacy, or to the grocery. What about Bayern actually? And what about all the others actually? Where are you guys, Jan? Where are you coming from? I am. So Gabriele is stuck at home. And you might wonder maybe why Gabriele and myself are called the same. Now you have to, is a problem that I've been dealing with since I moved to Berlin for the first time in 2002. Gabriele, with one L and an E at the end, is a male name in Italy. The female name is Gabriella, which has a double L and an A at the end. And in Germany, unfortunately for me, Gabriele, exactly written in the same way as my name, is a female name. The same is valid for Andrea, the same is valid for Simone. Simone in Italian, maybe in German they would say Simone, so it sounds a little bit different, but is a female name. And so when people, from like, in insurance or so on, they call me, they always ask to speak with Miss Messina, and then I have to say I am. So that's why we have the same name. Technically is only strongly recommended to stay. Yeah, okay, that's the situation in Switzerland. They say that technically it is only strongly recommended to stay at home, unless for food and medicine, so all the same story. And let's see what Fausto say about May Leaf. I also usually link May Leaf videos to my beginner friends, but his video subjects are very old and haven't been updated in a single video. It would be nice to have something like that. Oh, Jan is from Czech Republic, living near Brno. Ah, okay. Isn't Czech Republic one of the countries that have enforced isolation the earliest in Europe? I might mixing it up with another Eastern country in Europe, but I think it was either Czech Republic or Slovakia. And you're quite stuck, you say, so... Okay, Fausto like our video because they are in depth. That's good to her. I try also to do some basic video from time to time. I tend to forget that I have also to do basic video, and when I do so, people apparently also like that, because not everyone is the same level with Confuti. And I have to say, I say this seems natural, but I basically prepare every video. I write the script before filming it. It means that I have actually the whole content of the video written down, so that I don't waste time and I can really tell you all I wanted to tell you. I don't want to reach the end of the video greeting you and then I say, oh shit, I forgot to say something. So I try to prepare them a little bit in advance, unless some more spontaneous videos, especially with friends, where I say, you know what, let's drink this tea and see what we think about. For example, videos with Brian are not very prepared. Brian is also a very good palate, so he's able really to pick up a lot of notes that I'm not able to, and it helps me also in improving my skills in tasting tea. Um, Etienne in Czech Republic, you are in your flat too? Yeah, everyone here is in his flat. Karen is preparing breakfast. That's good. Yeah, I think I will do another steeping or so, and then I will call it for now. Next time I will see if I can announce it a little bit earlier, the live session, and see if more people will join. But actually I'm very happy. You have 9 or 10 of them, and I thought I will end up just being with the few friends I have announced that actually I will be online. What also we see, I don't know if you see it also in your place, we are here through these windows, we have a view of another building, and you see during the day, especially in the evening, a lot of people exercising at home. Like yesterday there was someone doing step in front of the window, another one was on a bicycle in his room. So it seems everyone try to keep himself active at home, and if you don't have a garden, or sometimes even if you don't have a balcony, it's not very easy actually. I'm home with parents, Jan says. Jan is at home with parents, so we have house and garden, so I'm quite fine so far. That helps. Actually, I have also a garden back in Denver, but I will probably end up staying here. It's much better, I mean, to be with Caroline, and we can share a little bit of life together. That is something we don't do very often. We share also the cooking and going to the grocery and so on, which helps, where you have still any way to do your work and follow up with your hobbies and so on. Everyone is baking. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, Matthias has a nice balcony. You are kind of lucky. And you, Matthias, you live a little bit outside of town, so I mean, you can definitely walk a little bit around your area. If we go out here, we are downtown in Washington, D.C. Yeah, even when people are supposed not to go out, it's more crowded than it should be. And thanks for those of you, some of you are there now in the chat, that have replied to the question of the last video, asking which is the favorite video that we've done so far and proposing new topics. I was actually very happy to see that many of the topics you have proposed are things that didn't came up to my mind. So I will definitely think about doing some videos there. And Sohber, I like the shirt that you are wearing. Yeah, it is a present from Caroline. Caroline, right?
Yes.
So
Banana Republic.
Banana Republic, if you want that T-shirt. And Sohber, I tell you more. I will have this T-shirt very often in the next videos, because I've been traveling for a month and I'm just around with the luggage. It means that when I left in February in Denver, it was like minus 10 degrees, and I didn't think about taking a lot of T-shirt because I will spend my spring in DC. So I kind of have maybe 3-4 T-shirts that I will keep on washing all the time and wearing all the time. Yes, the mountain forest is closed. Yes, Matthias, you live in a nice place. It's also nice, very nice DC actually. I enjoy very much this city. It has this feeling that is not 100% American in a positive way. I mean, it's not that American is not nice, but if you live in pretty much the center of DC, you can walk around the city. And this is something you cannot do elsewhere. Even in Denver, even the center is so widespread that you cannot go from, you cannot say, let's go out to a restaurant and you walk there. You have to take the car or take public transportation. While in DC, you have you can walk to a park, you can walk to a lot of restaurants in the evening. So it's a very pleasant living actually here. You guys should watch the latest video. There is a handsome guy in a pink shirt there. It is, yeah. Pink and brain, right, Matthias? Yeah, and there will be some Matthias even in some future videos coming up. It is a complex video that we have already shot and filmed partially, and a portion of it I have still to finish filming. So I don't want to reveal too much about that, but I think it will be a funny video and will be one of those videos like the one about wholesale price where we reveal you a little bit of what is happening actually behind the scene. And if you have other ideas, that's something that you want to know about, what is actually happening behind the tea shop. You see the website, you see me speaking, you see the tea you get at home, but you know that behind the shop there is much more running. Think about sourcing the tea, all the bureaucracy, all the marketing aspect, and so on. So all the partnership, I don't know. So if you have anything you would know about what is happening behind the scene, I think that not many shops actually speak about those things, and we don't really have problem about sharing. We have to take just a little bit of attention when we share key elements of our business that would allow someone else to catch up very quickly and reach our level, because we have been doing this for 10 years, sourcing tea from China, and we have developed some skills, if you want, and some knowledge that we have achieved over the year. So we don't want actually to spread the word, to say the word, guys, you should go now to China and do in this way to get the best tea back home, because China is large and it's not that easy to get good tea. Even think about the language barrier you have. They do not really speak English there, especially on the countryside. So yeah. Lorenzo is online. Lorenzo Macelloni, so another Italian. Ciao Gabriele. Are there any tea communities in Italy that you know of? I'm bored of drinking alone. Well, Lorenzo, tell me where you live. In which city do you live? And then we might be lucky and I might know someone there. Is also, it's something another point. There is a little bit of a limitation with privacy, but of course we have a lot of customers and we have a database for that. So actually we know each of you and we know also who is close to another. We just are not able to reveal that. So if you guys want to allow us to put you in contact, maybe just sharing the email with some tea drinkers that are also our customer and that are in your area, let us know. Give us the authorization. It's enough if you just write an email and you write Matthias, Gabriele, I'm okay if you share my email with someone living in the I don't know, München area or Milan area, and then we will do so. I'm in Florence. Okay, so Florence, Lorenzo. In Firenze, I don't know any tea group in Florence. We have some customer in Tuscany, I think. I have to check that. I'm not sure if I have we have some customer in Florence. So for you is a bit more difficult. Also, Florence is not such a huge city, so it's easier definitely to find people to drink tea with in Milan and in Turin, as said, and in Rome maybe. So what I suggest you doing is using Meetup. So try to, because there are also many foreigners actually in Florence, and not only tourists, but also people going there for studying and for studying art. So usually people that are in tea might be also in art as well. So I suggest you making a meetup group like we did in Zurich, and you just make a team meet a group and you see who is joining, and this way you will be able to find more people. Post also a message in the Gonfucha groups that you have on Facebook. You can find some there, they're very active. Post there a message, and if Fausto or Giovanni, you are still online and you know any other person that is into quality tea in Florence, please let Lorenzo know. Karen is breaking some ice. I think we are going to have a smoothie. Yeah, the our how it's called. Oh, let me do one thing here, like that. Our breakfast table is taking shape. I want to show that to you. Let's see if I can do that. It's a bit tricky. Maybe I'm taking some risk here while doing that, but it seems to work fine. So that's taking shape. Some of you will recognize these gems here. You see Caroline there on the background. She's doing, she's doing. Yeah, wait a second, please. Wait a sec. She's doing some. What are you doing? Some frappe, some smoothie.
Mango and banana.
Smoothie with mango and banana. So the same breakfast we had yesterday, but was really, really good. So let me turn it back. Let's see if this is kind of more or less where it was before. So I'm very close to go for breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed this live session. Lorenzo Coladia, mille grazie per i consigli. You're welcome. And I'm going now to have breakfast with Caroline and starting my Sunday here. For some of you, you're already in the afternoon. I wish everybody a nice week ahead. Try to keep active, still being at home. Be safe, both for you and for the ones surrounding you. And I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you actually in another live stream very soon. Maybe next time with Matthias as well. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
So.